What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you are all doing very well. I'm super excited to talk about Enhancement Shaman again and to get some time to try out some Enhancement Shaman keys. I'm going to show you a plus 22 Everbloom that I did on the Enhancement Shaman with the Storm build. That is what we're looking at today. Now, I haven't tried it really yet in this current season with the current Season 3 tier set bonus, right? So this is the Primordial Wave. Summons a Lightning Feral Spirit, increases your nature damage dealt by 20%. Summoning a Feral Spirit reduces the cooldown of Primordial Wave. So, obviously, it's all about Primordial Wave. That throws a bit of a wrench into the Storm build talent tree layout because, of course, we have to go down the right-hand side and get Thorm's Invocation with static accumulation. So, and you also have to get Legacy of the Frost Witch. You must get this, or else it just doesn't work. Getting the resets on Stormstruck is what fuels this entire build to actually be able to do damage. And especially once you're inside an Ascendance proc and your Chain Lightnings and Lightning Bolts are going off for free because you're just like generating and spending, that will continuously proc Legacy, which will continuously give you your Wind Strike cooldown back, which will pump out even more Lightning Bolts, even more Chain Lightning. So it ends up doing a crazy amount of damage. So you must have Thorms. And you must have Legacy, which reduces the amount of talents we can take over here. But we have to take some Primordial Wave stuff because that's our entire tier set bonus, right? It's Primordial Wave. So there's a bit of a conundrum there. And I am going to continue to work on this talent tree because I don't think anybody else is seriously trying this build right now because most people are, of course, doing, you know, a Frost Shock build with Swirling Maelstrom and Hailstorm, of course, which is fine. That build is perfectly fine. We're here to try the Storm build and see how well it functions, right? That's the point. Some key components here. You're going to want to take Molten Assault ×2 because you have to be able to spread your Flame Shocks with one GCD. You want to spread it with one Lava Lash, and then you can detonate your Lightning Bolt, your Primordial Wave Lightning Bolt, and get into your big haste window. Again, I talked about messing around with talents. I'm going to try another dungeon later today, I think, where I take like Witch Doctor Ancestry plus Alpha Wolf, or just take 1 point in Witch Doctor Ancestry and go 2 into Ellie Assault, maybe, because I was noticing in the dungeon, which you will see, my ability to generate resources on single target fights was actually pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So you're going to see that in the video. For now, though, we don't have anything in the Witch Doctors. We have everything into Primordial Wave, 1 point in Legacy, 1 point in Thorms. You need the 2 points in Molten Assault. And then I was really, really enjoying Tempest Strikes. This thing actually hits really, really hard. And then Storm's Wrath and Storm Blast. I know I took 1 point out of Elemental Weapons. I know, don't shoot me just yet. I understand. You probably people think that's an error. Here's our damage breakdown really quickly. Again, Tempest Strikes and Storm Blast are going to do way more damage than you think they will. That's why I put these points in here, right? So that's Storm Blast right there, and then the Tempest Strikes are up there. They're doing 5% each. One talent point doing 5% for each one is actually a crazy amount of damage. So don't sleep on these 2 talent points. You might not think it's a lot, but it's actually very, very good and something you should definitely consider. I would not ever do not take Ellie Blast for like more single target damage because you want to be pressing a Lightning Bolt in single target to get the refund from static accumulation, right? You basically don't want to press anything other than Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning because you have a chance of getting a refund. And if you get a refund, it is like a massive deal. So anyway, that's the damage breakdown. Lots of Crash Lightning damage, Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt. Again, I just wanted to highlight Storm Blast, Tempest Strikes. Storm Strike itself doesn't do a ton of damage. We pressed it 410 times, and it didn't do a ton of damage. It's just the conduit. It's the ability that we press that enables everything else. It enables our Ascendance procs. It enables us to generate Maelstrom weapon stacks to do big damage from Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt. It's the enabler, okay? Here's what my stats look like. I'm at 40% haste, 56 mastery, so I'm not very high on the mastery quite yet. I need to probably craft another ring. I have a haste verse ring, and it's just the best one that I have for this, so don't, you know, it's unfortunate just the way it is. Only have heroic weapons for enhance. I don't have mythic weapons yet like my Ellie does, so we're a little bit behind on the gear, and then we have a couple trinkets that are like okay, but they're not probably the best ones that I could possibly have, so just bear with me on all that. Let's dive in, okay? Here's the opening pack. I messed up my rotation here in the opening pack. I got really impatient. I wasn't actually sure what he was doing here. It looks like he was just sitting here for a second. So I was like, okay, I'm going to blow my Primordial Wave. And then he immediately moved, so I was like, screw it, I'm done already. This is over. So I lust for everybody. Oh, sorry. Oh, it just bricked there. There we go. So, opening pack, I do not do anywhere near as much damage as I could have if I'd gotten a full 6 target Flame Shock lightning bolt off right from my Primordial Wave, so I really messed that up. So that's okay. That's just my mistake. But the damage is okay. We did obviously way less. What you're going to see is on every single pack, we basically have Primordial Wave up. So this time, I get a good one off. I got my 6 Flame Shocks out. I detonate it, and boom, we're doing crazy damage, as you can see on the left side of your screen there. So that's, and then I get an Ascendance proc. Now we're off to the races. We're doing 400k. This is great. This is kind of where you want to be sitting at. Basically, on every pack, you should be able to pull off this kind of damage, right? 300 to 500k on every pack, more or less. And you can see I got 2 Ascendance procs in this one pull. That's because I'm prioritizing pressing Storm Strike. And the biggest hint that I want to give you guys, if you haven't tried this build before, you need to prioritize pressing Storm Strike. Do not underestimate how much you need to do that. You need to do it. Above everything else, you need to do it. Here comes another combo. I got my 6 Flame Shocks out. Watch my detonation now. I'm doing no damage right now. Watch this detonation. Boom! We're immediately doing 2.81 million. We were doing like under, yeah, anyway, it's just like crazy how much damage that does. But you're basically just going Crash Lightning, Chain Lightning. If Storm Strike is off cooldown, look at this right here. This is a good example. If Storm Strike is off cooldown, if you can press Storm Strike, press it. Even if you're at full Maelstrom stacks. Watch this. We go Storm Strike, I get a reset, I press Storm Strike, I get a reset, I press Storm Strike, I get a reset, I press Storm Strike. I keep doing it. Now I'm out. Now I press Lightning, Chain Lightning. And then we go back into the Storm Strike again. And look at that. Now we get rewarded by getting an Ascendance proc. That's how this works, okay? That's what you want to be doing. You need to make sure that you are pressing Storm Strike as much as you can. I can't stress this enough. It's going to feel weird, but we're almost doing 500k on this pack. That's fine. That's good damage, okay? It's not 800k like the Fire Mage is doing in his Combust window, or 800k from a BM Hunter when he's got his cooldowns up. But it's good. It's going to be really good. Again, we can do big damage on every single pack. This Monk did a great job, actually, with bursting. We had 11 stacks of bursting there. My Nature's Guardian, I think, saved me, which was pretty cool. But that's, again, that's just how that works. And you need to press Storm Strike because it's going to give you Ascendance. That's the big deal. And sometimes if you're at max Maelstrom weapon stacks, even if you're sitting at max Maelstrom weapon stacks, you need to press Storm Strike. You just need to press it because it's going to reward you. It really is. You just have to trust. You have to lean into it and trust that it's going to reward you for what you're doing. There's another proc right there, and you can see we're back up to 400k on this pack. Every pack, you're going to be doing this. And again, I need to experiment with the talent points, like I said, and really give it a good feel on like what is the best potential setup. Because my suspicion is that there's a better setup than what I'm doing here. Again, we're doing 380k, almost 400k once again. Every single pack, this is what you're going to be getting. I'm going to experiment with doing a build that really cools down the wolves a lot more, because as the tier set bonus says, when you press your wolves, it will reduce the cooldown of Primordial Wave, which that's, again, just going to fuel the whole build. So I'm going to try and do a build where I think I get rid of the haste component of Primordial Wave, the splintered elements part of it, and instead I just go for the cooldown reduction on my wolves so that they can be out more often. So when I press them, they cool down Primordial Wave. We just want to get that cycle going. That's kind of my plan moving forward. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm holding my trinket here on the boss. I've got a couple procs already. I popped my trinket, I think, right here. You can see the little water globules start moving towards me. That's going to give me mastery. Okay. I get about 110% mastery here, which means my chance to trigger Maelstrom, my chance to trigger Stormbringer, which gives you your Storm Strike back, is like very high, and then my Fire, Frost, and Nature damage is very high. So you can see we're pumping a decent amount of damage here in this double damage window that this guy gives us. And again, I want to really highlight one thing here. When you get resets on your spenders from static accumulation, watch this. My Lightning Bolt is going to reset in a second here. I go Lightning Bolt. I got a free Lightning Bolt back. Look at that. 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks. Lightning Bolt. I get another one back. I just did a Chain Lightning. Got another 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks. Like, you can have these combos back to back to back where you keep getting resets on your chain lightning or your lightning bolt spenders, and you must prioritize those buttons. Pressing Lava Burst is cool because you can get the flurry combo with your class on the class tree, right? If you press Lava Burst on somebody with a Flame Shock, it's going to auto crit. Every time you crit, you get a flurry proc. You don't need to worry about that with this build. You just need to press Lightning Bolt. Press Lightning Bolt, press Chain Lightning. You're going to be rewarded if you do that, okay? That's the end of the Witherbark fight. We get to the very end. We're doing, what, 270 by the end? Pretty solid. Got a huge pull right here. One thing that's really cool about this build, excuse me, unlike the Hailstorm build, which actually has capped AoE, this has like uncapped AoE. So your damage can go pretty high. Your Ascendance procs, when they go off, they do uncapped AoE. Your Crash Lightning is an uncapped AoE hit. It hits every enemy in front of you. After you press Crash Lightning, your Storm Strike is going to do splash damage in front of you. That's uncapped AoE as well. So there's some really, really good sort of uncapped AoE damage you can pump out here. And that's what I love about this build. You can see my Crash Lightning right there did 13.3%. That's including... Oh, sorry, it did even more. It did 13.3 plus 5.7. This 5.7% right here is just my Storm Strikes after the Crash Lightning goes off, just splashing in front of me. So it ended up doing 19% of my damage right there, just because of Crash Lightning. So again, really, really good for that uncapped AoE kind of feeling. Once again, here's another combo up to 550k right off the bat with the big lightning bolts. We're just, it's just your damage is crazy. It's crazy how good this is. You just have to keep leaning into it. Make sure you're leaning into those Storm Strikes. Do not doubt that you're going to get a proc. Make sure that you know that. We're going to push forward here. I'm going to get to the next boss. Yeah, these packs are all basically the same. Again, you've already seen it before, 300k. That's a 300k. There's a kind of a low ball one. Here's a huge pull that he does. I don't know how well we do here. We lose a bit of damage because while you're gathering up these mobs, it's kind of hard. I don't have Primordial Wave yet either. That's okay. We're getting some damage. Here's my Primordial Wave. There we go. 270 up to 300 now. Crash Lightning, 350. Your Crash Lightning is so important. Prioritize Crash Lightning, and remember, when you press Crash Lightning, it actually buffs the damage of your next Chain Lightning, I believe, and then your Chain Lightning will reset the cooldown on your Crash Lightning. So they work in tandem, but you want to Crash Lightning first, then Chain Lightning to reset the cooldown on Crash Lightning, and Crash Lightning again, then Chain Lightning to reset the cooldown. That's the obviously you're weaving in Storm Strikes there as well, but that's the combo that you're kind of looking for. Okay, let's skip ahead to the next boss. Not sure we died to this trash pack. Okay, boss time. This is the Council boss. This is pretty great for us because we get 3 targets for our Flame Shocks, right? So we're going to get that Cleave Lightning Bolt right off the start. So I get one here. I spread it around. And then I do my big detonation, and then we're off to the races. So I'm in my haste window. I pop win. Oh my god, I can't even think of I'm losing my brain right now. I'm so sorry. Doom Winds. There we go. Oh my god, it's been so long. Doom Winds. I pop Doom Winds and then press Sundering. You always want to prep your Sundering with the Doom Winds because Sundering will like double, triple proc your Wind Fury weapon. So here we go. We go Doom Winds here. I pop AG as well. Doom Winds into Sundering, and then we're going. We're doing a bunch of healing and a bunch of damage. Very good. Up to 300k on the boss fight. That's pretty sweet. Again, this cleave that we're getting for free is really, really good. The fact that we get to Crash Lightning 2 enemies is going to trigger the extra effect from Crash Lightning, which is fantastic. And then, of course, we are getting the triple stack on our Lightning Bolts, which does a lot of extra damage and gives us a lot more haste. I kick the Revitalize there. Make sure you do that, and then we're back on the boss. Doing good damage here. This is a great boss fight for us. Once again, I will highlight in a second how single target boss fights are definitely difficult with this build. I think that this build, without investing into Witch Doctor Ancestry at all, you're going to lose a lot of single target damage. So that's why I want to experiment with the talents. On an AoE fight like this, you can see it's more than sufficient. We're doing almost 200k, 180 by the end. Dips down a little bit more. But let's go to the next... Oh, yeah, the tank died. Let's go to the next boss fight. We'll go to the Archmage Soul. Archmage Soul? I don't know what we want to call her. We got to do this last trash pack. Sorry, I'm skipping. We already know how much damage this does. Here we go. So here's single target. This is single target. And you have to be, like, really careful about how you manage your resources. on a single target fight. Unfortunately, the guy dies. I use my cooldowns. The tank resets the fight. That guy dies. Unfortunate. We do trash while we're waiting. I build some resources. On single target fights, you just don't have the same kind of resource generation as you do on an AoE fight. So because your Crash Lightning will just generate monstrous amounts of Maelstrom weapon stacks. So on single target, your Crash Lightning is not hitting multiple targets. It's not generating extra stacks. It's a much slower process. So I get this going, and then I'm pressing Storm Strike because I want to trigger Ascendance. I get one right off the bat, which is good. That's fantastic. Then I'm into my Primordial Wave window. I press Lightning Bolt again. Now we're off to the races. We're doing a bunch of extra damage inside of our haste window. And it's okay for now. Unfortunately, my pathing on this fight was actually abysmal. I'm used to playing ranged on this fight. And so I like ran really far away from some of these different effects. And even though Enhancement Shaman can do a decent amount of damage from range with things like Flame Shock and Lightning Bolt and whatever, you need to be in melee. So I end up losing a lot of damage there. But you can see already the damage is a lot lower. I'm getting lucky with some procs right now. There we go. Got an Ascendance proc. You can hit the boss from range with Ascendance, which is super cool. But our damage is just a lot lower because we do not have a build that generates Maelstrom weapon stacks very well on a single target fight. Yes, our AoE damage is fantastic, but on a single target fight, we're definitely struggling a bit on the damage. And again, I run really far away here. I don't know why. I'm an idiot. Like, why did I run over here? Hello? And then I, like, get pulled through the fire anyway. That was really bad. So just look away. Anyway, I just want to highlight that the damage is not amazing on single target. As soon as you get one additional enemy, your damage goes really, really high, which is great. Here's the final boss. This is Yalnu. We have Lust. I'm going to pop it at the beginning. And then my damage is crazy at the beginning here because inside Lust on single target, our damage is fantastic. Without Lust, it's kind of whatever. There goes my Primordial Wave. Watch my damage here. I get an Ascendance proc in a second here. I'm doing 800. Look at this, 900. We get over 1,000,000 damage per second here on this boss fight, which is super, super cool. 1.1 mil. That was pretty sweet. That was actually awesome. So it does a good amount of damage. Here comes the ad. We can kind of burn the ad down. Again, getting 2 targets now is amazing because of Crash Lightning and its additional effect. So that is awesome. Having 2 targets on any boss fight is going to make Enhancement Shaman such an amazing powerhouse. We get another Ascendance proc. One little tip that you need to remember if you're running this build, when you get an Ascendance proc, the Thorm's Invocation is going to automatically launch a Chain Lightning or a Lightning Bolt, right? One of those two. It's whichever one you have pressed last. Sometimes on these fights, you're alternating a little bit between Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt. Like on this fight, when the ad spawns, I'm going to be pressing Chain Lightning because I want to hit both enemies, and it does enough damage to warrant that. So if I get a proc on Ascendance, once the ad dies, I need to press Lightning Bolt first so that my Ascendance proc will also keep channeling those Lightning Bolts. Otherwise, it's going to channel Chain Lightning on a single target enemy. You don't want to do that. So a little bit of a small like niche thing. Once you play the build enough, you'll understand what I'm talking about a little bit more there. But that's the basic idea. But that's Yalnu. We just rinse and repeat. It's nothing crazy. You want to try and save your Primordial Wave for the ad if you can, because it gives you really good priority damage on the ad. Like, watch this. Boom. I just truck this ad right here. He's at 50% already. 46, 40, 37, 30, 20, 15. You need somebody who can nuke the ad down. You need that in any Mythic Plus comp, and that's really what you can actually do on this build. If you save your Primordial Wave. I would not recommend holding Primordial Wave ever, but in this particular situation, it's actually pretty good. So that's the end of the fight. We end up killing him. I get a proc at the very end for good measure. Look at all those lightning bolts going off for free. Bang, bing, bing, bing. We did 263 overall. I actually did this dungeon on a 20 yesterday, and I forgot to record it because I'm an idiot, but I did 300k overall. I did 300k overall with this build. So it does work. Here's the damage breakdown. Almost 20% on Lightning Bolt, 15% on Chain Lightning. Wind Fury attack is there. That's mostly because of Doom Winds, right? Doom Winds plus Sundering, big AoE Wind Fury procs. Crash Lightning is huge. If we combine them together, which I think I can do right now. If we look at them right now. I've combined them together now. So 12.4% on Crash Lightning. Again, really, really good for big, large packs of mobs. It's gonna just reward you with crazy amounts of damage. Storm Strike does a little bit of damage, but again, it's the conduit ability. It's the ability that sets up everything else. And again, Storm Blast and Tempest Strikes. Do not sleep on these talents. They are very, very, very good. Especially Storm Blast. I was kind of perplexed by how good this was, but it is very, very good. So I'm going to keep experimenting, guys, with some different talents. I think I'm going to end up dropping Splintered Elements and 1 point from Primal Maelstrom, and maybe go 2 points in Witch Doctor's Ancestry, or go all the way down to Alpha Wolf, get some extra AoE damage from Alpha Wolf. But really, we kind of want some single target damage, so I might go Elemental Assault and get a much higher chance of landing a Maelstrom weapon stack from my Storm Strike and from my Lava Lash especially. This giving Lava Lash a 50% chance to generate a Maelstrom weapon stack is kind of massive. So obviously we can't drop Primordial Wave itself, but we could drop this stuff over here, and I'm going to start experimenting with this stuff and do some more keys. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you all. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about my build. And yeah, love you. I will see you in the next one.